Family-school partnerships in elementary school working together for kids. This article po is written by White, Schumacher, and Napoli. And yung article na to, it explains kung paano ba yung mga schools and families can work together para ma-support nila yung success and growth ng mga bata, ng children, ng students. I am Erlinda Gracia Buniel, and in my part, I will be focusing on some key concepts that explain bakit nga ba mahalaga ang tinatawag nating partnerships. So in our report, we will be talking about the importance of teamwork between these two, the family and the school, para matulungan nila yung pag-develop ng iba't ibang area ng bata, not just academically. So first, we have, sa article na to, it says that both families and schools, they have this term called shared responsibility. Meaning, yung school and yung family, they are sharing the responsibility of helping the children to grow both in learning and sa emotional well-being ng mga bata. Second, meron tayong tinatawag na children's interconnected worlds. This means naman na yung bata is dapat natututo siya both sa bahay at sa school. So, dapat si parents, tsaka yung mga parents and yung teachers, they should work together talaga. For example, si teacher, nag-update siya dapat kay parent about sa homework ng bata, sa progress niya sa school. And si parent naman, of course, dapat tinutulungan niya yung bata to continue study at home. Next one, we have this called Principles of Strong Partnership. Meaning, yung tinatawag nating partnership o yung teamwork, di ba? Yung principles nito, dapat merong tinatawag na trust, respect, and ayun nga, teamwork. Para matulungan both ng families and ng school yung bata to learn a better. For example, si teacher tsaka si parents sa family, they have to listen to each other's ideas. Para kapag nag-work sila together, if may problem man sa learning ng bata, they can solve it. So, ano nga ba yung impact nito sa bata, no? Kasi, kapag yung family and yung school, they work closely talaga, pwede nitong ma-improve yung communication ng bata, yung engagement niya both sa school and at home, and most importantly is yung learning ng bata. At dito sa atin, sa Philippines, di ba normal sa atin to, yung may teamwork or may collaboration yung school and yung sa bahay or yung parent, kasi may tinatawag tayong parent-teacher association or yung PTA. So, yung learning ng children is shaped by experiences ng bata. Kung ano yung experience sa bahay, sa school, at idamay na rin natin yung community, no? And that's why yung teamwork talaga or yung collaboration or yung partnership na tinatawag natin, na galing dun sa may title na article, no? It's really, really important. Of course, bakit nga ba ito ginagawa para sa mga bata? Isa lang naman yung goal para sa success ng bata. So that's a quick overview of this article of our report. Let's now hear from the next discussant, who will share more details and examples from the study.
Parent-teacher relationships. Parent-teacher relationships form the cornerstone of a strong family-school partnership, with communication acting as the foundation. Saka nandito na rin po, nakaisa-isa na rin kung bakit importante and ano yung totoong role ng parent-teacher relationships. Plus, good communication enhances teaching practices, increases parental involvement, and it leads to positive behavioral, social, emotional, and academic outcomes ng mga bata. These relationships demonstrates the value of parental involvement and help parents build strong connections with the school, overcoming potential barriers to the child's education. Both home-based and school-based involvement is important for the child's learning development. Although these types of involvement differs, both are valuable. Una, sa home-based naman, mas napopromote nito yung focus sa pagbabasa, improves literacy skills, and dahil home-based, mas nabibuild yung bond between the learner and their parent. Meanwhile, the school-based involvement naman allows the parents to gain first-hand insights into the classroom environment and teachers' methods. Kumbaga nakikita nila kung anong nangyayari. This can happen when the parent volunteers in their child's school activities inside or outside the classroom within the school. This also shows the child that their education is valued and supported, na mas magbuboost sa confidence and motivation nila sa pag-aaral. Lastly, home-based involvement. Home-based involvement is crucial as it encompasses practices that provides cognitive stimulation and support children's learning within the home environment. This can be as simple as pag-uwi sa bahay, mag-usap kung anong mga ginawa nila sa school, or discuss school activities, reading together, visiting educational places like sa museum or can be sa zoo, or pag-provide ng mga learning materials. This type of engagement benefits not only a child's academic skills, but also their social, emotional, and self-regulation skills. Like sinasabi ko kanina, kasi mararamdaman ng bata na may support na nanggagaling sa bahay nila.
So, good day to each and every one of you, and also to Doc Casido. Good day po. I am Mitch Antonia Apatos, and today I will going to discuss to you my assigned topic, which is promoting home-based involvement. Yan. So, bago tayo tumungo sa mas malalim pang diskusyon tungkol sa aking topic, alamin muna natin kung ano ba ang ibig sabihin kapag sinabi natin ng home-based involvement. So, according to this, home-based involvement refers to parental and family activities outside of school that supports a child's learning and academic success, including creating a supportive home environment, providing educational materials, helping with homework, discussing school-related topics, and encouraging educational exploration through community resources like libraries. So basically, ang home-based involvement ay tumutukoy ito sa pag-intervene ng family sa learning process ng isang bata. Kumbaga, kung natututo siya sa school, dapat natututo din siya at home. Hindi dapat nalilimit na dapat sa school lang siya natututo kasi basically alam naman natin pagpasok ka sa school matututo ka. So hindi lang dapat doon na dapat 100% inaasa lang sa school lahat. Kailangan may intervention din na nangyayari at home. So ngayon, i-distinguish naman natin kung ano ang kaibahan between home-based and school-based involvement. So basically, home-based involvement and school-based involvement, hindi differentiate lang sila. Key differentiation nila ay location. Yung home-based sa bahay while school-based involvement nangyayari sa school. But the difference is, school-based involvement, as a teacher, di ba alam naman natin, meron tayong mga sinusunod na learning competencies. So, kung ano yung dapat matutunan ng bata, ang goal natin ay matutunan talaga niya yun. Well, the home-based involvement, kung ano yung mga bagay na hindi natutunan sa school, kumbaga, kunwari meron si teacher na hindi na-discuss, or may diniscuss siya, hindi siya fully naintindihan ni student, dun ngayon papasok si home-based. Ayun. Kung ano yung kakulangan ng school, ayun yung pagtutuunan ng pansin sa home-based involvement. So, although different silang dalawa, they are both equally important. Dapat hand-to-hand sila sa pagtulong sa pagkatuto ng bata holistically. Dapat habang natututo si bata sa school, natututo din siya at home. At pag natututo siya at home, natututo din siya sa school. Yan, dapat hand-to-hand sila, equally important. So ngayon i-discuss naman natin kung ano bang benefits ng pagkakaroon ng home-based involvement. So ang una dyan, nagkakaroon tayo ng academic benefits. Si bata, nagkakaroon siya ng performance sa school na mas magaling pa sa compare sa hindi siya natututukan at home. Ayan, kasi dito din na de-develop kasi pasok to sa may social and emotional benefits. Kasi kapag na-encourage natin sila mag-aral at home, nagkakaroon sila ng certain motivation and confidence na ipapakita nila kapag nasa school na sila. Ayan, so related yan dalawa. And also, holistic development. Nagkakaroon tayo ng holistic development yung mga bata na bibigyan natin sila ng lifelong learning. Kumbaga, pagka natuto sila dito sa atin, sa loob ng bahay, ay madadala nila yun outside sa school and also hanggang sa paglaki nila, pagka nag-work na sila, mariremember nila lahat ng natutunan nila. Kasi, na-immense talaga yung learning nila na hindi lang sa school nangyayari. Ayan, so ngayon naman, i-discuss naman natin kung ano yung mga tools na nagpo-promote para sa home-based involvement. So, ang una dyan ay weekly homeschool folders. So, isipin natin itong weekly homeschool folders as portfolio. Dito nakakompile yung mga ginawa ng bata, yung mga achievements niya, quizzes, exams, na pagka inuwi niya sa bahay, makikita ni parent kung ano ba yung mga dapat pang matutunan ni bata. Kung ano, saan sila pwede pang mag-focus, saan siya hindi masyadong natuto, saan siya yung talagang nag-engage siya, na natuto siya talaga. Doon, may evaluate ni parent kung anong intervention pa yung kailangan niyang gawin at home. And the next one is daily homeschool notes. Kumbaga, ang difference lang naman nito, yung isa weekly, isa daily. Ayan. Pero yung daily homeschool notes kasi, pwedeng meron ditong notes si teacher na mababasa ni parent. Kumbaga, para siyang one-way communication, para siyang messenger ni parent at ni teacher. May notes si teacher doon sa kunwari sa notebook ni bata na si ganito ay hindi masyadong natuto sa ganitong topic. Yan. So, doon malalaman ni parent na kailangan pa itong tutukan, kailangan pa siyang turuan dito sa topic na to. Ayan, doon malalaman ni parent kung ano yung kailangan pa niyang gawin na intervention para mas lalong matuto si bata. So, yun lang po. And i-end ko lang po itong discussion sa pagsabing family is the first school. Ayun lamang po. Again, I am Mitch Antonio Apatos and thank you for listening.
Good day, everyone. My name is Mary Catherine Garcia, and for this part of our report, my topic is all about home-based involvement, app, and tools for communication. So, as future educators, alam naman natin kung gaano ka-importante yung communication between the teachers and the parents para masubaybayan din nila yung progress ng kanilang mga anak. Kaya ipapakita ko sa inyo yung ilang mga apps and tools na ginagamit or pwedeng gamitin ni teacher para maging mas madali and mas effective yung pakikipag-communicate nila with the parents. Yan, unahin natin si CISO para itong isang digital portfolio ng mga bata. So usually, si teacher yung mag-upload ng pictures or videos or yung iba't ibang mga activities na ginagawa nila sa school. And real time to nakikita ng kanilang parents. Kahit nasa bahay lang sila, real time nila makikita yung mga ina-upload ni teacher ng mga activities. So for the next one is the Class Dojo. Kilala ito as a classroom management kasi nga merong point system si teacher. So dagdag points kapag nag-participate, nakinig o tumulong sa mga classmates yung isang student. Automatic nakikita ng parents ang progress ng anak nila. Kaya kahit nasa bahay lang si parent, pwede nilang purihin at i-encourage yung good behavior ng bata. So for the third one naman, this is called Blooms. Para siyang organizer app sa klase. So si teacher pwedeng mag-post ng mga announcement, pictures, o mag-schedule ng events. Then kung may parents day man or field trip, something like that, dito makakapag-sign up yung parents. So yung benefit nito is mas organized and mas prepared si parents sa bahay. Like pag-ready ng mga costumes, pag may events, pag-ready ng baon. So next slide naman is remind. So from the word itself, it's for reminders. So sobrang simple lang pero sobrang useful niya. So si teacher pwedeng mag-send ng quick updates gaya ng mga assignment, exam schedules, or reminders. So kaya siguradong walang mamimiss ng mga importanteng information si parent. And next naman is si talking points. Kaya niyang mag-translate ng messages automatically. So halimbawa, si teacher nag-message siya in English. Tapos mababasa ni parent to in Tagalog or Cebuano or kung ano man yung dialect na ginagamit niya. So hindi na mahihirapan makipag-communicate si teacher kay parents kahit magkaiba sila ng language na kakaintindihan sila ni parent. So yung last na example natin, syempre hindi mawawala. Ito yung pinaka-common na ginagamit, especially dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, na communication tool or communication app between parent and teacher. Ito yung Facebook Messenger. Kaya mas madali para kay teacher na gumawa siya ng group chat or personal message niya si parent para mag-send ng mga reminders, yung mga materials na kailangan ng mga anak nila, or yung mga announcement ng programs, events. So, dahil accessible ito, mas mabilis ding makakapag-react yung mga parents natin na nasa bahay. Meron silang activities sa school, is makikita agad ni parent kung ano yung mga kailangan na i-prepare. Practical siya and madali siyang gamitin araw-araw. So, those are the different apps and tools for teacher-parent communication. So, apps like this bridge homeschool communication gaps and promote parental involvement even for working parents.
So good day everyone, my name is Ajin Meiji Kalunsag and today we're going to tackle about school-based involvement and matching support to student needs. So what is school-based involvement? So ito yung ina-encourage natin yung parent to actively participate in classroom activities, school celebrations, and meeting to support the student growth and create a sense of community. So one of example of this is the Nutrition Month. So some parents are volunteering to cook some delicious or nutritious food and yung iba naman is nag-a-assist. So dahil dito, nagkakaroon yung mga student ng confident and feeling proud because their parents are contributing to the school's activities or celebration. So by this involvement, so some students ayun nga feel supported while the parents develop a sense of deeper connection with the school's community. So next, matching support to the student needs. So first, we have the universal support, targeted support, and lastly, the individualized support. So what is universal support? Ito yung activities that is provided to all students to promote inclusive learning and communication. Meaning na inclusive learning, ito yung sinusupport and wini-welcome natin yung all students regardless of their different background, abilities, interest, and etc. So yung example dito ay yung parent orientation kung saan ino-orient natin yung parent about the classroom rules and the upcoming projects ng mga student para ma-prepare sila kung paano nila i-guide yung kanilang student and the student will be able to adjust better in school. Targeted support. So these are designed for students who need extra guidance and academic reinforcement. So one best example of this is yung after-school tutorial kung saan nagkakaroon, for example, yung mga student na nahihirapan magbasa, nagkakaroon sila ng reading session with the volunteer parents and teacher na ina-encourage na ma-develop yung kanilang reading fluency and also develop their confidence in reading. And lastly, individualized support. So ito naman yung plan are created for the children who have a special learning needs and behavioral concerns. So one best example of this is the individualized progress report, kung saan, for example, one of your student in math ay nagsastruggle sa addition and subtraction. So ang gagawin natin dito ay gagawa tayo ng personalized learning worksheet for him or have a one-on-one session with him or her para ma-develop ang kanyang basic computation skills. So, by aligning school-based involvement with the level of the student needs, school, parents, teachers ensures that all learners receives the right kind of support, whether it is universal, targeted, and individualized.
Good day everyone, my name is Athena Kabahang. My topic is all about promoting family-school partnership with diverse families. My first topic is cultural and linguistic minority. May feel excluded due to language barriers or unrecognized traditions, so teachers need to respect diversity, use translation tools, and build trust through positive communication. So, example dito is, may family na galing ng ibang lugar na nag-transfer dito. Bago mo tanggapin yung anak nila, kailangan tanungin mo kung anong prepare nilang language para hindi nila mapil na napag-iiwanan sila. Mas mapil nila na belong sila sa environment. And next is socioeconomic disadvantage. Often have limited time and resources, which may look like being uninvolved. Teachers should instead acknowledge their struggles and provide flexible ways to participate. Pag may ganito ka namang magulang na busy sa trabaho dahil nga sa life status nila, pwede tayo mag-conduct ng mga online classes para maiwasan yung socioeconomic disadvantage na at mga problema natin. Is supporting families and students who are LGBTQ. For LGBTQ students and families, exclusion or discrimination affects both learning and well-being. School must create safe, inclusive spaces by using respectful language, showing visible support, and integrating LGBTQ representation in lessons. So, dito naman sa LGBTQ students, pwede tayo magtayo ng mga organization para mas ma-enhance and mas maging safe sila. Doon sa organization na yun, pwede nila sabihin kung nakakaranas ba sila ng mga bullying and pwede silang mag-conduct ng program para sa kanila. Next is family-school partnership in rural communities. In rural communities, transportation, and for internet can hinder involvement, but partnership with community leaders and informal schools events help maintain connections. So, dito naman sa family school partnership in rural communities, maraming napipace sa challenges. Ito nga yung sinabi ko kanina, distance, transportation, and poor internet. Mas maganda kung proper solution na talaga, tulad ng pagtatayo ng mga school sa rural communities para hindi na lumayo yung mga rural or hindi na nila kailangan mag-struggle pagdating sa transportation and poor internet. Kasi kung yun ang aasahan natin, napakabagal ng process. Last, family-school partnership during educational transition. Like preschool to elementary, family involvement often decreases. School should guide parents, maintain open communication, and continue early childhood engagement practices to ensure smoother adjustment for children. So, dito, pwede rin tayo mag-conduct na seminar tungkol sa educational transition ng mga bata. And for our conclusion, first, partnerships deeper depending on culture, identity, resources, location. Next, teachers play a vital role in inclusivity and collaboration. Last, strong partnership, better academics and social skills, and student well-being. Thanks.
Good day, everyone. I am Virgil Donato, and here's my part, which is tools and tips for effective family school partnerships. So, the first question is, how do we need a partnership? Bakit kailangan natin ng magandang partnerships sa parents? Like, tayo yung future educators or educators, Bakit kailangan nating makipag-partnerships sa parents ng bata? Invite families in, Prior to the start of school year, we encourage, educators are encouraged to invite families to tour the school, to introduce themselves and other teachers and other faculties, the principal, yun. Kaya di ba kapag before start talaga ng klase, may pa-meeting pa muna sila or orientation. Third is get to know one another. Children benefit when parents and teachers know one another. Mas maganda kasi na magka-tandem si parent at teacher, para sa ikabubuti ng bata or ng estudyante. Next naman po is convey a genuine interest in collaboration, Use language that implies shared responsibilities and appreciations, Gaya ng we, We are united, our and us, that highlights mutual goals. So, ibig sabihin po nito, kapag nakipag-usap po tayo as educators with our parents, dapat maramdaman nila na magkakampi tayong haharapin yung challenges. And lastly, stay connected. Make contact with families during the first few days. Next is stay in touch. Over time, efforts to remain connected, no matter how small, will help create deep and meaningful consistency for the child at home and at school. So, hindi sapat na isang beses lang makipag-usap si teacher sa parents. Ayan. So, sa pangalawang tools and tips naman to have an effective relationships or partnerships with teachers and parents is create ways to stay engaged. Okay? So, first, make connections a positive. Make it a goal to reach out to 1 or 2 parents each week. Next is stay in touch. Over time, efforts to remain connected, no matter how small, will help create deep and meaningful consistency for the child at home and at school. Next is provide multiple options for involvement. No? Use parent volunteers in classrooms or provide parent training workshops and incorporate families into lesson plans. Like, not all parents can join the same way. Hindi lahat available si parents dahil may mga trabaho sila or may mga inaasikaso, busy, gano'n. Okay. Next naman po ay keep lines of communication open. No? First is share ideas. Both parents and teachers have important information to share when it comes to a child they both know well. Next is communicate frequently. Make sure that communications is frequent, madalas, and klaro, and that everyone has an equal chance to speak and to listen. Next is provide structure. Set up systems such as weekly homeschool notes. No? Magkaroon ng fixed system or routine para siguradong consistent ang communications ng isa't isa. Next is translate materials into languages spoken at home. Next naman po, para sa tools and tips for having an effective partnerships, both teachers and parents, ay ang structure consistent learning opportunities. First is find common opportunities. Look for similar ways to create structured learning opportunities across home and school. Next is celebrate success across settings. Reinforce our children's positive behaviors at home and school to help them experience consistent messages. Next, encourage the school to help families create homes that maximize children's learning by provide families with informations. Next is jointly set homeschool goals for students each year. So, sa simula ng school year, mahalaga na parehong teacher and parents ay magkaroon ng set shared goals. Next naman po, for tools and tips is engage in transition practices. So, una, kailangan magkaroon muna ng plano, agad-agad, no? Plan ahead. And lastly, share information. Kindergarten teachers can request information from parents about children's individual needs that will make the transition smooth. It's because para magkaroon ng mabuild yung strong relationships and partnerships between the parents and the school, lalo na sa teachers. Hindi lang po isa na kumikilos, kundi dapat pareho. Nagtutulungan, united, for the sake of the child.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.